Hi guys! Today we have a video about 6x6 giant wagon, with a conversion from the usual 650 horsepower Mansory G-Wagon. Let's talk about the installation of reportable axles. We had pot holders, but we're cutting them all off and making full-fledged fasteners. After it, we will weld it and prepare for the paint. But due to the fact that our shock absorbers are not native and very fashionable from other company, we faced several problems. Firstly, they are 2 mm longer than the standard ones, for the reason that the owner took them. Also, I asked him to take the standard ones in length. This can lead to the springs at the back to fall out. Therefore, it became more difficult for us with fasteners, and we had to make them so that when the axles were extended, the springs would not fall out. Another problem was the diameter of the shock absorbers. It is too thick, and the rear fasteners were incompatible with the thickness. In general, we made selections and defeated these problems. Take a look, here are our extenders that will be installed on our Mansory 6x6. Do you remember the matches from the last series which we removed from the rear extenders, which we glued together? Take a look how wonderful our parts turned out. They are flat, dense and almost perfect. Please note that our fasteners are very simple. If any of you need them, we can always sell them to you. If someone breaks something in your G-Wagon, they are exact copies of the original, so take it. Well, it's time to process our homemade box body. It means that our epoxy prime was opened. We made welds under the silent, so we're going to prime where we wrapped. Once in layer at least. Due to this, we don't want to apply raptor under the metal. So, we're preparing our frame for the painting. Before this, we'll smooth all welds. I mean, we won't wrap it fully flat, we just made it more smooth. Our goal is reducing the appearance of it after putting raptor. After smoothing, we'll cover it by one layer of epoxy prime and layer of raptor. Well guys, our frame is flooded. I have crawled for the 2 hours around it. This work could not be delegated because I want to make sure that the bare metal is completely primed. I made 2 good layers. All the nooks and crannies are checked to make sure everything is painted over. Due to the fact that a little bare metal would cause rust after a month or a year, especially after winter. It is unacceptable, and, God forbid, I will skip the raptor or anti-gravel. In this case, rust will not appear due to epoxy prime defense characteristics. I could finish covering the raptor today, but I already did it with epoxy prime, so I need to wait until morning. I will come tomorrow, and I will clean the droppers and cover them with the raptor. I am fully exhausted. After the prime has dried, we met it with sandpaper and started covering it with raptor. The most difficult places are cups, in the sense hard to reach. We will paint over everything, and then we will cover 2 thick layers with raptor. In general guys, we completely clear these places, because they are so hard to reach. I mean, we pull it down the body and got good access. We clean it up and here are the cracks, on 2 sides. We cover it with epoxy primer. In an hour we will put the welds in. General. We are preparing this part. It will be painted with line X, and then it will also be made with board, to make a protective crust. We use a dark board at the request of the customer. In general guys, we had a carbon moldings, you remember when we disassembled and neatly packed them. Due to our car will be in line X, all including moldings. The owner bought regular rubber factory moldings. We are starting the installation now, because the carbon ones were on double-side tape. They are knit with a self-taping screw, without fat plastic and instead into all the holes. And we are guessing where to drill holes in the rubber molding itself now. But the chrome things that they insert in the molding will be in line X, so it will be a red light. It's really cool guys. Well, here guys, from the side we are adjusting the frames on the front expanders. We have a Mansory bumper, so we need to fit these parts of the bumper. I mean, they are the lights again. Also, we will have to go painting tomorrow. That is, today we have glue it completely, fit the spaces under the bumper, and tomorrow carry these expanders to line X painting. We are preparing to make rear arch right now, but as usual we face some problem. I want to show key ones of them. You see the original G-Wagon. You see kind of drips which located lower than the end of vehicle. We threw it up and it is insolvent. Original was has some hole here and pipe enter in it. But we don't need it, because we can cover it by silent. You know that the water will enter it after a few years. We don't need it. We decided to make the drip from pipe within hole. Let's start. So, guys, we did it. This drip we did from ordinary pipe and fitted tight. These potholders are temporary, metal is fat and bolt made up from stainless metal. We no longer have rust. Look how tightly they fitted to it. There's no any holes, so it is perfect to constrictor will go up from it. You know, we don't look for easy ways, only for you. In general, guys, we have another failure. At this time with rear bumper. We fit our arches to bumper, because it's Mansory while our expanders are for ordinary standard camper. We touched it, two fasteners have already fallen off. That's what Mansory did. On this side you can see that two fasteners are dangling as if it will fall off. All of this must be fixed quickly, because in 2 hours we have to drive to Kyiv for painting. In general, guys, there is less and less time for painting, but there are lots of problems. In short, we are fitting our expanders for these fucking bumpers with broken fasteners. Also, there are still rear moldings on each side. We must finish it quickly. Well, guys, it's time. We almost did everything, but we left the arches for the future. We sealed everything, made all over the gaps under the bumper, but they still need to be stranded inside. The low truck came to pull out the car. Well, guys, we are almost in Kyiv. Here is our vehicle ahead. Of course, everyone takes pictures. Car stops to see it. Nobody has seen this. As usual, we work at night. While the guys will be preparing for painting our G-Wagon, we decided to take the axles with us, so we don't want to waste time, because the deadlines are close. Well, guys, our work is continued. We are working and preparing for the welding. After that, we are going to sandblast and do powder painting. In the meantime, I have some truth that making those green wagons is somehow difficult and too long time needed. So I want to introduce new technologies into producing them. I have already it all worked out in my head. In a new frame, we will make one weld instead two, or an insert. There will be just one cut and a long frame to the end. I want to change material, due to the lots of welds work with the rear body. Also, sealing, priming don't make the situation better. For example, you welded the outer wall, so the weld is inside and it is already naked. You need to make a hole and make it stainless. I'm bored from this. I want to change metal to stainless metal or aluminum. Or maybe I need to make some new press forms. There are many people who ask for G-Wagons. In the next project I will show you new technologies that will be much faster and probably more expedient. For example, some years ago we abandoned the way of using metal sidewalls in our limousines, due to the Americans had done it. We changed it by sandwich construction, which consists of spaces between two plastic parts. We also used some pipes, as a result side wall is in good condition for 7 or 8 years. Also it's perfectly flat. It's very useful to do something new in your work. Like that I want to do in G-Wagons. If you like our hard work, you should like and subscribe with the bell. Goodbye.